Hello friends, I am Dr. Vijay Prakash and today I will be telling you about periodontal factors in fixed partial dentures. Now whenever we are diagnosing and making a treatment plan for fixed partial dentures, assessing the periodontal status of the teeth, the remaining teeth, especially the abutment teeth is very important. Now, periodontal factors, when we are checking, we need to see how much is the bone loss and how much is the attachment loss, or we look for signs of gingival inflammation and occlusal factors. So all these are factors which are very important when we are assessing the periodontal status of the teeth. Now let us look what are the common periodontal factors which can influence the diagnosis and treatment planning of fixed partial dentures. The most common one is the periodontitis. Now what is periodontitis? Periodontitis is an inflammatory disease of gums which is characterized by pocket formation and bone destruction. And when we talk about pockets, we are referring to periodontal pockets, which is basically pathological deepening of the gingival sulcus, as you can see here. So when there is deepening because of the attachment loss, there is deepening of this sulcus. This we call as the periodontal pocket. And the instrument by which we assess most commonly is the periodontal probe. And why this attachment loss is there? Because of the destruction of the alveolar bone. So when we have periodontitis, the first objective is to restore the teeth into a healthy state, and for that we need to give a periodontal therapy to such patients. The goal of this therapy is to resolve inflammation, provide adequate attached gingiva, and convert these periodontal pockets into a clinically normal sulcular depths. It could also be possible because when you find a patient having periodontitis, the missing teeth could also be because of this reason, where the patient would have lost his or her teeth because of periodontitis. So first thing is what we need to make sure is that the teeth are in good and sound periodontal health. Now next periodontal factor is trauma from occlusion. Now trauma from occlusion refers to a type of tissue injury which is produced because of the functional forces. Ideally the tooth should be subjected to vertical forces which are directed along the long axis of the teeth, but because of certain reasons there may be horizontal forces or leverage forces. So clinical signs which suggest trauma from occlusion are excessive tooth mobility. You can have angular or vertical bone loss, or there could also be pathological tooth migration, and you can have infrabony pockets. So these are all the signs which we can see with trauma from occlusion. So first thing is you need to see the occlusal factors which are causing the trauma, and we have to relieve those factors. In fact, eliminate those factors so that there is no excessive forces on the abutment teeth. Other periodontal factor is the embrasure spaces. Now, embrasure spaces are the triangular spaces which are located below the contact area between the teeth, as you can see with the blue mark in the figure. And these embrasure spaces, they deflect the food at the time of mastication, and they protect the gingiva from food impaction. So we need to make sure that we don't encroach on these embrasure spaces, and whenever you are giving a restoration, they should not violate this space and they should not encroach in the embrasure space. So whenever you are making a restoration, you are replacing a tooth, then your restoration should not be over contoured or even under contoured, because if it is over contoured, it is going to encroach into the embrasure space, and if it is under contoured, then it will be anesthetic, and also there will be chances of food lodgement. Another factor is the margin placement. That is, whenever you are doing a preparation, the finish line which you give should be above the gingival sulcus. That is, it should be supragingival and not subgingival or equigingival. Because of aesthetic reasons, sometimes we give an equigingival margin, but whenever possible, you should always give a supragingival margins. But however, you may encounter a clinical situation in which you are having extension of caries or pre-existing restorations or areas of cervical erosions or even root fracture. So in those cases, you may have to give a subgingival finish line. But whenever possible, your margin placement should always be supragingival. Another periodontal factor is the biological width. Now, what is a biological width? Biological width is the combined width of the connective tissue and the epithelial attachment, which is around 2.04 millimeters. Now, if we see here, the connective tissue, this thickness and this gingival thickness, the epithelial thickness, this combined width is called as the biological width, which we see. So whenever you are giving a restoration, you should never violate this width, because if you do so, then there is chances of attachment loss and there will be chances of bone loss. So it is always advisable that there should be at least a gap of 3 millimeters between the crest of the alveolar bone and the gingival margin. That is the margin of your restoration. So there should be at least 3 millimeter space should be always left, and this will ensure that your restoration functions and your gingival health is normal. So these are all the periodontal factors which influence your treatment planning in fixed partial denture cases. Thank you for watching the video.